Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Pathfinder, Kingmaker. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that he chose to join me today here with Gongar, but we have talked to him already. All of the talks. We have not talked to Octavia. Let's have a chat with her. Oh, hello! Octavia gives you a fetching smile. Something you need? Yeah, could you tell me about your childhood, please? Right off the bat. Right there. She sighs. How too little. Some scraps of memory, more than that. No more than that. Okay, what do you remember? Octavia reflects on that, tapping her finger against her cheek. Nothing special. Some images of a faraway past, that's all. I do remember wooden table legs. The paint of them was peeling off, and I was standing on my toes trying to peek at what was on the table. I remember the wild rose by the window. It kept me up at night, scratching the glass with its gnarled branchlets. I do remember my mother's blue dress. It was a trifle battered, but it smelled of lavender. And she wrinkles her forehead. I guess that's all. Not much there, right? All those moments, it's like they're not mine at all. I recall some images and I know I should feel something about them, but I don't remember what exactly I should feel. So let them rot in a swamp with tattleslinkers worms. I suppose that's like a dragon. She grins cheerfully. My life's good enough without them. Okay, what do you know about your parents? You're a half-elf, right? I can tell? You can tell. Well, Gillidel's an elf. So, I think... Actually, let's make sure. Let's make sure of our racial heritage in here. Where is it? Where can I tell this thing? She is Gilladel, yes. Abilities? I think she's an half-elf, actually. So she might be able to tell, like, from magic and things. But I can't tell from here. Right? I'm sure it says somewhere, and I just can't see. It doesn't say over there. Biography. That's the one. Oh, that's a different thing. Class, maybe. No. Well, I don't know what... Yeah, well, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. These are the things that come with the elven things and all that. So yeah, I might have gone with the elf. But then again, I have, adaptability. That's where it says half-elf. So yeah, she's as well. Let's go over here. Yeah. Am I? She examines herself as if seeing herself for the first time. You know, I think you might be right. I'm rather slim and tall, and I can see well in dim light. She raises her hand and touches her ears. And they're a bit pointy. Yes, I'm definitely a half-elf. Let's think about that logically. My mother was an elf, and my father was a human. Or maybe it was the other way around. Oh, sorry, I pressed space. And my mother was and she can't take it anymore and burst into laughter, having spoiled her own act. So that's it. Now you know as much about my parents as I do. Okay, your mom had a blue dress, and maybe she was an elf, maybe she was a human. Do you remember how you were enslaved? I clearly remember the man who took me away from my home. He was big, with a huge pot belly and shaggy beard. I was afraid he would eat me. Anyway, he didn't stay with me long. He gave me to his slaver accomplices, and I never saw him again. When my mother was giving me to him, she was crying. I can still barely hear her quiet voice, but I can't recall her words or her face behind the tears. Just that lavender smell. It tickled my nose and I wanted to sneeze. Did my mother sell me into slavery? But then why was she crying? And if she didn't want me to be a slave, why didn't she try to save me? Octavia twirls her hair, pondering over the thoughts, then sighs. One more riddle from my past that I don't care to solve. Yeah, well... having been separated from my parents at birth, it's only natural that you don't. Well, it's not necessarily natural, but I guess she wouldn't feel an immediate attachment. Of course, it's a very common thing to see characters do that in similar situations. Just be like, oh, I want to find my parents, I want to see in my past and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, it must be horrible being unable to recall your childhood. Well, don't say that, Gilladel, because you definitely don't remember anything from your childhood. Nothing. Oh, I recall my childhood in rather bright details. It was... No, well, the blue ones, but not much. It was spent in dirty barracks. It did occur to me that I asked her about their childhood, and she sort of just focused on before she was a slave. That's probably not what she would talk about, but then again, it's as if she understood my question to be the one before enslavement, because it actually makes some sense, considering the question after that was specifically related to being enslaved. Let's see, my childhood was rather... It was spent in dirty barracks. I wore flea-infested rags and slept on a straw mattress instead of a proper bed, though I understand what you mean. You know, to be honest, I'm not sure I want to remember my childhood before slavery. In fact, I know for a fact I don't want to remember. I don't really care at all about that riddle. If I could remember what I lost, it would probably just bring me more pain. And she shakes her head several times and makes herself smile again. So it's good that I don't remember much of anything. So will you tell me about your life as a slave? In slavery, I guess. Oh, I don't like to recall it, but if you insist, she frowns. The slavers from the Technic League tried to ruin my life, but all they could do was ruin my childhood. Well, that's a nice outlook. Hopefully that is indeed what happened. How did you happen to find yourself in the Stolen Lands? My enslavers, she said, from the Technic League funded a large expedition into the Stolen Lands. 100 agents, tens of slaves, wagons. We were to search for some ancient artifacts or ancient ruins. Our group never made it to the Technic League hideout. Along the way, it was attacked by the future owner of the Stolen Lands herself, and I'll be forever grateful for her to her for it. And she winks cheerfully. Oh, she's talking about me. I thought she was talking about the Baron for a moment. Did you have any, many masters over the years? Yeah, many of them. Some owned me for years, others felt they'd had enough of me in a couple of months. Trust me, I did all I could to make every master eager to get rid of me. A slave that's trained in magic is a rather expensive thing, so they wouldn't kill me. At least, that was the hope. So I drooled and played an idiot, and I listened as every new master argued with my former one, trying to return me. Sometimes I punctured the pages of magic books I was forced to copy with a quill. Other times I pretended to mix up the spells, so instead of lighting a magic torch, I set dozens of dancing lights floating just below the ceiling. Of course, most of these tricks of mine usually ended badly. I got punished on a regular basis. My back still remembers the master's whips, though all my scars from those times are long gone. Are they? From those times? From a couple of days ago, when you were still a slave? Where did you learn to, and why? Why would they make this remark? Where did you learn to use magic? Oh, I was taught, because, you know, why would they make that remark? Because he specifically is made to seem like he still has his back covered in scars. I don't know. I was taught magic by Janusz of Starfall, one of the most powerful, famous wizards in Numeria. Maestro Janusz, as he insisted on calling himself. Anyone would be happy to learn from such a great master. And only a talented bitch like me would dare to reject his teachings and indulge in her laziness. At least that's what Master Janusz used to repeat constantly, while whipping knowledge into my back. The great Maestro was a big fan of punishment. Yeah, the Technic League didn't care if a few slaves died under a master's whip, as long as Master Janusz provided an arcane-trained one in return. Officially, there's no slavery in Numeria, apart from the slavery in Numeria, because of the... what they call it? Thralls? Yeah. But the Technic League is above any law. A slave with an aptitude for the arcane is worth much more than a regular one. The slave's repertoire is limited to the simplest and safest spells, of course. Well, apart from lighting a candle on fire. Have you ever tried to run away? What a silly question. Of course I tried. As soon as we saw even the tiniest opportunity to get free, Reg and I grabbed for it. On one occasion, we jumped from cart... actually, can I point out that in reality, a slave from childhood wouldn't try to break away. They are portrayed as, of course... no, of course not. Of course not. Yes, there, you know, historically speaking, there are a lot of slave runaways and all that, but it's far from, of course. They are broken in more ways than just being confined to a space and to jobs. They are brainwashed, and they're convinced that they're done better for while being slaves than as free people. So no, of course not. Of course you wouldn't. Of course you wouldn't want to flee. That's a rare thing. That's a rare thing, and of course one worthy of admiration and respect. But it's not like, I mean, yeah, they're building their characters, but they're sort of portraying slaves as just, oh, of course we try to run away all the time. No, we don't, unfortunately. Well, it's a lot to be said about that, but yeah, it's not the horror of slavery as other implications here that are sort of passed over. On one occasion, she says, we jumped from the cart into the river. There was a time when we spent weeks trying to dismantle the far wall of the barracks and made a path out. Sometimes we attacked our guards when they least expected it. We craved freedom, we lived only to dream about it. Those short days, sometimes weeks, that we spent on the run were the happiest days of my life. We used to hide in the woods or blend in with the crowd on the streets of Starfall. Midnight stars were our guiding lights, and we shared our dream with them, to reach the River Kingdoms. For in these lands there were neither slaves nor masters. We were starving and freezing, but that was the real life. Too bad it usually ended too soon. The technically, and of course in their case, the fact that they were sort of assured that they wouldn't be killed definitely incentivized the whole running away. It still matters that they were caught as children, but, you know, and would have been brainwashed. But still, they are exceptionally smart people, of course, for being... I suppose they are. Actually, I could check, and I'll check their stats. The technique agents always found us in the end, she says. I don't know how they managed to do it. They probably used magic, or maybe it was just our fate. They whipped us and returned us to our old masters, or sold us to new ones, if the old ones refused to pay. So we were slaves again, but the dream about the River Kingdoms never left our hearts. Okay. Have your masters ever hurt you, even though you just told me that? You figured that out, didn't you? No, you told me. You told me that. Or maybe you want to hear all about the beatings I survived. No, you told me that. The humiliations I've endured. Actually, you didn't tell me that. Tell me. Imagine the worst thing one person can do to another. Okay. And multiply it tenfold. Yeah, you were caught a lot of times. That is true. So maybe more than 10 times that you were caught. That's what happened to me nearly every day in slavery. Masters... Oh, how I hate that word, even though she says it a lot, to be honest. Octavia shakes her head furiously, making her locks dance. Oh, she has locks? I guess, you know, it's the curly things. Because I was thinking of other... Anyway, it doesn't matter. They punished me because they wanted to hurt me. Also because I ran away, she would say, most likely. But what hurt even more was the mere fact of their existence. Yes, I imagine so. I was gonna... Yeah, let's talk about something else. And she stops me, gently touching my hand. Wait, I wanted to tell you, and she sighs and shakes her head as if trying to collect her thoughts. The Technique League agents you rescued us from, Reg and I tried to run away many times, but they always managed to find us eventually. I have no reason to hope that this time they've lost track of us for good. I won't let anyone harm those who are dear to me. Whatever happens, you can count on me. Octavia raises her eyes to you and gives you such a warm smile that you're unable to not smile back. In the depths of her eyes, you notice something that wasn't there before. This unnamed feeling hides within a moment, but you're sure you know what it was. Trust. Thank you, she whispers, touching your shoulder. Suddenly she frowns in contemplation, twirling her locks. Still, I'd like to find them first. Yes, we will. I thought we had killed all of them. Well, but she's probably talking about, you know, accomplices and things. So what kind of relationship do you have with Regongar, you know, now that you trust me? She shrugs awkwardly. We're together, she answers simply. See? See, that's an answer. Though awkwardly bit, I don't know what... How do you shrug awkwardly? Is it like... Is she forcing a shrug? Or is she shrugging awkwardly as in sort of, what's the word? An unintentional shrug. Because... That would be an awkward shrug. Like, if you shrug unintentionally, it's sort of weird, right? But that is an answer. That is the proper... That's the answer Regongar should have given it. And not like, what do you mean, this relationship? What... yeah, the way you said we're together sounds unconvincing. Unconvincing. So I'm immediately not trusting her. Sure. I mean, I'm not trusting her because I know Regongar. I talked to him already. Is something wrong? You noticed? I did. I sort of did, yes. Well, I didn't mean that. Well, now I'll have to explain. I'm not sure I know how to put it correctly. You see, Rag seems to treat me like his property. Yes, he does. He's always kind to me, and it feels good when we travel together, or when we share a blanket at the campsite, but he always calls me my Octavia. I've told him over and over that I don't belong to anyone, that I'm my own, that I stay with him by my own free will. He only grins when I say that. I bet he likes to think that I'm his. Never mind, though. I'll sort it out somehow. And she shakes her head, making the troubling thoughts go away. I'd love for a storyline to delve into what it is to only know one person, and to sort of, you know, this sort of relationship can be very toxic. Although, honestly, judging by how Regongar acted, he's not being depicted as abusive in a lot of ways. There's only a couple of hints, and the fact that she mentions it sort of hints at that. When did you meet Reg? Years ago, when I was studying magic at Maestro Janusz's, Reg was his student too, though you couldn't actually say he was really studying anything. Reg had his own ways to cast spells. He never needed the Maestro's instructions. You see, unlike wizards, Reg draws power directly from his innate bloodline abilities. Yeah, he's a dragon. Or something. Also, he's probably a sorcerer. Janusz didn't realize the nature of Reg's powers when he took the young boy as his new student, and when he finally understood them, he just taught the negligent half-orc to control his powers, to avoid harming himself or the others. Are you quoting, or did you just... Okay. Reg and I have been together ever since. We could both use magic, but more importantly, we both craved freedom. We used to vow to each other that someday we'd break free from the unbreakable captivity or die trying together. I guess it's good that we fulfilled only the first part of that vow. Yeah, it is good. There's also there's a lot of logistical issues here with this whole affair. And when I say affair, I mean I don't mean it double meaning, but it's sort of double meaning as well at the same time. In regards to just the whole thing, sure. You owe him much? She winces. I don't like this "owe" word. I don't owe anything to anybody. Everything I do for my own free will. But to answer your question, yes, Reg has done a lot for me. I can't count how many times he was whipped by masters because of me. How many times he took the blame for my doings. He never complained when they dragged him, beaten and covered in blood, to the slave barracks. He just groaned and clenched his fists while I bandaged his wounds with the scraps of my filthy clothing. We've always been together, my whole life, as slaves and as free people. I wouldn't be me if not for him. So the fact that Reg is so impulsive? Impulsive? That doesn't bother you? Impulsive. I don't... That's not in reply to this. That's in reply to just me knowing Reg. And apparently we're calling him Reg now. Because his full name apparently is not... Regente? I don't remember. I'm trying to figure out where it is, but I couldn't see it. Well, actually, I know of a way. Because you can just follow this. Regongar, that's the one. Yeah, why abbreviate? Sure, whatever. Yeah, so he's impulsive, isn't it? Doesn't that bother you? Ah, that is a very delicate matter. She winces, looking away. Oh, she winces? Reg means a lot to me, she says, and he endured a lot for me. But some parts of him just scare me. He becomes extremely bloodthirsty when it comes to slavers. Don't get me wrong, I hate slavers with all my heart, and I'll do a lot to cleanse the world of their filth. But Reg, he'd do anything. Understand? Absolutely anything. I'm afraid that anger might kill everything good in him. Oh, he doesn't have anything good in him. No. He's chaotic evil. You should have known this already. What are you talking about? Is that not the good in this world? You can't say that word. In a world like this, come on. I've attempted to talk to him about it many times, but he just won't listen. He becomes even angrier after our conversations. And she sighs sadly. Yeah. I wonder if it's a story of redemption here. Of getting Regongar, or getting her... It would be cool, wouldn't it? Getting her to turn chaotic evil. That would be interesting. Although, how would you do that? You know, with his kind of chaotic evil. Because he's just a jerk. He's like, he should be a lovable idiot. Or I say lovable idiot, but really a lovable villain. He should be one. So that would be an interesting story, wouldn't it? I wonder where this is going. Because if it is a story of redemption, then whatever. I've seen that. It's not really that interesting. But it could be anything. I'm sort of thinking in tropes at the end of the day when I say, story of redemption or turning her evil. It's still all tropes. But it's just, there's tropes that are better than others, I guess, just from an interesting standpoint, writing wise. I just have to ask, how do you manage to look so gorgeous, even when you're out in the middle of nowhere? Is your hair magic, as the rest of you? Can I not add more and more flirts to make up for the fact that I didn't flirt with her before? Can I? Oh, so you've noticed. Oh, well, it might have worked better that I didn't flirt with her before, and now it could work, and especially with her with her reply, although I have a suspicion that her reply would have been the same if I had flirted with her the first time anyway, which would definitely change the meaning. Anyway, my appearance is the result of daily effort, and it's not easy. Do you know how much time it takes to create good makeup, or to mend a dress, even with the help of magic? Yeah, I imagine. I didn't notice that she had makeup, though, I guess. Well, it's a little bit of lipsticks, but you know, it's kind of difficult. It's tricky to see from up here, from so far away. That said, how do you manage to look so gorgeous? Yeah, okay, so yeah, I didn't say that it was easy. It's a good thing. It's a good thing that I didn't. So if someday you wake up early, an hour before dawn or so, you can actually check on me. You'll see how I prepare myself for a new day. Can I join? Can I join? Couldn't I? Can I? Let's see. Octavia, the flower of the stolen lands. You're as beautiful as you're dangerous. You strike down monsters with your spell as you strike down people with your beauty. You're a real sweet talker, she says. I feel all flushed. And she fans herself with a hand. Now, is she faking that, or is that just her mannerisms? Well, now I'll have to pay even more attention to my looks. For now, I know for sure that there's someone who appreciates my efforts. Because if she were to, to come across as a sort of uncultured, because she should be really uncultured, all of her looks would normally be a facsimile of what she sees in other people, and she, of course, would be trying to look good. And also, I say that, I'm also forgetting that it's not touched at all here, in which probably is for the better, just adding to the complication of this whole thing. Man, this situation in real life would be, or I guess I say in real life, but I mean in a realistic setting, with a realistic approach, this would be the most complicated thing ever. This would be so complicated, because she would probably be used as more than just a mage slave, and the way she was described, wearing rag and flea-ridden rags and all that sort of stuff, like the complications for her to reach here, there's a lot of dynamics there that would just add to the complication, then as well to their relationship, but it could be just taken as out of context, and she just likes looking nice because she likes looking nice. That's basically how it is. So you worship Calistria, right? Yes, many slaves survived only thanks to their faith. Some lived hoping for a day when a good deity would deliver them. Some even offered deals to evil gods, but me and Rag, Calistria has taught us the most important things. Accept no gifts from above. Rely only on ourselves. Never forgive those who have wronged us, but at the same time, savor every droplet of pleasure we could squeeze from our bleak days. Yeah, it's amazing how, after all your hardships, you still remain so cheerful and optimistic. Or you are cheerful and optimistic. Because she was taken as a kid. What do you she would be crying every day as a kid, like at the age of 6 or 7, whenever she was taken, maybe younger, probably younger, because she doesn't remember her mom. Well, I guess 6 or 7, that probably still would not remember her mom. It depends on how old she is. At the age of, I don't know, let's say that she's 20 right now, if she ages the same as humans, because if she ages the same as elves, which I believe they do, at least in Dungeons and Dragons, then that would complicate things even more. But let's not think that. If she's 20, at the age of 20, I still remembered memories from like a year and a half. At the age of 16, I remembered memories from months old, like being in the crib, or images, of course, not full constructed timelines and all that. I don't remember them anymore. The memories of a year and a half. I remember remembering, but I don't remember the memories themselves. I just remember the fact that I did at the age of about 20. And I'm sure there's people who are the same or even older and still remember stuff. So they probably I would say probably taken as at the age of 4 or something like that. So not still remain cheerful and optimistic. That's just how she is. Let's see what she says. She smiled. Wait. Her smile fades a little. I try not to view my life as a never-ending course of suffering. Yes, I've had my shares of hard times, but do I need to recall them? After all, along with the bad things, I had some good things as well. I had a dream and I followed it, and eventually it came true. Following that path, I met Rag and you. Now I'm free and surrounded by friends. And her voice trembles with hidden emotions, but her smile remains warm and sincere. Yeah, hidden emotions there being the most important aspect of this, because she's not actually telling the whole story. For someone, actually, as someone with a similar attitude to life, myself, I can relate to the hidden emotions bit. It's tricky, you know, for someone, you know, I can relate, of course, to the slavery, fortunately, but you know, for her to want to look at the bright side of life, that's the fundamental aspect of it. If you want to explain, you're gonna have to look at the not bright side of life. So if you're a person about looking at the bright side of life, it is tricky. It is tricky to talk about it and just sort of explain without looking at the wrong side. I say the wrong side, but the not bright side. So yeah, why do you need to find the Technique League agents? Well, duh. I broke free from slavery, she says. Thanks to you, I've obtained everything I dreamed of. My freedom and the opportunity to control my own life. I want to use this opportunity to fight the Technique League, at least the part of it that operates here in the Stolen Lands. I wish to free all the slaves from their Technique League masters. Octavia gives a warm smile and gently touches your hand. I do believe that while we're together, we can achieve a lot. Even this. Yes, we will achieve a lot, and Rigongar is not, because he's a jerk. I'm going to keep him, of course. I'm not going to tell him to go away. I am going to keep her with me, though. So, that's a problem. This is a problem, because I need this team. So, I need to send away Lindsay. Lindsay! I need to send her away. I need to send her away. She's nice. She has healing spells. And she has spells. But she needs to go. Challenge Embrace, yeah, that's a thing. Chainmail +1. She needs to go. I'm sorry, Lindsay. I'm sorry. I'm keeping Octavia here. She's gonna level up eventually. So you like this? Good. What is that? That is a short bow. No, short bows suck. Let's get this one over here. Yeah. Do you like? Is that a? That's a composite longbow. No. What? Oh, wait a minute. What? How come? What are your specializations? Elven immunities, point blank shot, spell focus. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course. She's a rogue mage. She's like Imoen. Yeah. Okay. So that is gonna screw things up. So I don't want that. That does mean, however, that I will be able to use these somehow. What? Wait a minute. How does that work then? I was looking at this off camera, and dexterity bonus base. What? Reflex? Is it reflex that changes that? No. This wheel though. Oh yeah. Yeah, okay. So that's her. And everything else is good. Yeah, so she has a bow. I'll probably add. Did I say sell my shield? She had a shield. Yeah, I did sell my shield, right? Yeah. It's fine. We're gonna find others. So she can use that, which is great. And I can take that away. Good, good. So she is, if I remember correctly, she is, we saved Octavia and her friend. She looks so cool. She looks so cool over there. Here, it's sort of, yeah. This, oh no. Oh, wait a minute, that's my thing. Trusted, no, wait a minute. Valiant Defender, Trusted Friend. How come? Scrappy Mage. We saved Octavia and her friend Rigongar from the greedy clutches of those Technique League adepts, which was one hell of a fight, I might add. The young lady wizard joined us to show her gratitude and help us bring happiness and freedom to the Stolen Lands. She's the sister-in-arms I've always dreamed of. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's how that is. I'm a sucker for hair like that as well, to be fair. But yeah, she's frowning, which just adds to the coolness. Okay, so we got that short bow, and then she has her abilities, Demoralize. So she might be similar to me, because she's, well, I'm a ranger, right? I'm a stormwalker. So I'm not really sure. How do I look at your book? So she has these spells. Snowball and color spray. She also has an enlarged person up there, which I don't want. I want this instead. Rest to restore spells, yes. Magic missile? Heck yeah. Although that is pretty amazing as well. Mage armor? Not really. Vanish? 1d4 plus 1 points of force damage. For every 2 caster levels beyond 1, you gain an additional missile. Yeah, that's basically like magic missile, so that is the most important spell in the existence of the entire planet. I'll probably also start using the thing over here. I've been watching some other people play the game, and yeah, for spellcasters it's pretty important to have here. I'll figure that out. So we have a new team member, Octavia, and she's a rogue, which means... What does it mean? Who is disabling traps? It means something. It means something. It's good. Hey, Lindsay. Can I talk to you? No. Well, you're gonna stay there. And I'm sorry. You're also... Yeah, I'll never trust her again. Because she sort of abandoned me. And I didn't like it. So I'm not slow because of the weather. I'm slow because of this. I'm still overloaded, though. Did they patch the game? They did patch the game. I noticed that they patched the game. But, good. It's good stuff. Also, camera movement seems to be a little bit faster than it was. I didn't change that. Oh, wait a minute. If they patched the game... Yeah, everything is good. No, don't default. What? I just clicked out. Okay, good. Okay, next mission. The Stolen Lens. Gemandi Aldori said that... no, that's the next one. Finally, it's time to perform the feat that we're here for. Attack. With an exclamation mark at the end. Assault the Stag Lord's fortress. Another exclamation mark. The fate of the Stolen Lands hangs in the balance. Indeed. And we have followed that with... Oh, wait a minute. Show complete quests. No, go away. What the heck? Shoot! There it is. You can't have it selected. So we got this Dusk Gutter, which is going to be all joy and amazingness. But if I'm able now to go against the Stag Lord... Wait a minute, what? I left this inside. I can leave that there. Why are you telling me? Just as a way to, you know, make things easy for me, I suppose. Let's see. So I bring her and I bring you. So we got a healer. We're gonna be okay. And we're also gonna need to level her up, which is gonna be awesome because leveling up is fun, hopefully. And if it's not, I mean, I do these episodes long because that's you know, if you want to skip bits of it, you're definitely welcome to do it. It's not. I mean, I'm not saying that. I mean it. Like, this is your Let's Play. This, like, as you're watching a Let's Play, it's your right to enjoy it. And if you want to skip a specific fight or skip to interesting bits, I know a lot of you do that already, but I know other people might not. That's what I mean. I'm gonna have to level her up. Well, hopefully anyway, because it doesn't show over here. Yeah, so let's go. Where exactly is the freaking Stag Lord's fort? Is down there. Holy crap. How long do I have? 68 days. We have for days. It's gonna be fine. So let's go over there. How do I get over there? Or actually, I need to go over here as well. So I could go there. Actually, I should probably just click there. Takes 3 hours. Ooh, haha, fighty! Random encounter! Exclamation mark. Was it? I don't know, but yeah. So we could choose. Of course, we choose to fight. It's loot. Although, to be fair, the of course there might not be good. Okay. I don't like that. She's level 2. At the end of the day, it's not gonna matter. I'm gonna stick with it though. She doesn't level up. That's a shame. We're gonna be okay though. I don't think I have level scaling. So you attack there. Also, why are you back here? Oh, he's sort of. That's good. That's good. Was that spellcast failure? Yes, it was. Okay, this is going well. Oh no, it's not. Valerie. Oh, he's laughing. She's laughing. Oh, they missed her. Okay, good. Now you guys. What's that? We got a bandit. We got a bandit. Let's kill that one. Okay, yeah, you go in there, except for you go in there, and so do you. Yeah, this is good news. That's powerful. There we go. I wonder if... Did you get the extra? No, she didn't. She didn't get the extra from the group thing. But of course the experience is important. Let's see. We have a spell. We have a spear. We have a composite longbow. Oh, yeah. And we have a composite shortbow. Ooh. Oh, also, I need to look at her... her dexterity is amazing. Oh, she's a great character. It's multi-classing, so it's sort of weird, but it's better than Lindsay, I think. Even though she had some pretty amazing things later on. But... Heck yeah. So her strength damage, she doesn't need the composite longbow. She might not even be able to use it. But let's see. Yeah, it doesn't make a difference. Oh, I say composite, but I mean, yeah. She might get... I mean, I might just stick with it, though, because if she eventually gets bonuses for that. Masterwork longbow, that's just better. If I change that... you don't have this? You should. Oh, yeah. And you should as well, but you don't. Okay, we're good. And you had... Ooh. No, nothing important. Yeah, let's leave. Let's leave, guys. Oh, I didn't look at my formation, though. Yeah, that works. Ish. Doesn't quite work as much as I'd wanted. That's the spirit. Moving on. To where we're going. To a place. No, no, no. Leave all that. Nobody cares for that. Survivor. What? Wait a minute. I get twice? Sure. I get 2 survivors. It's fine. It's all good. Uh-huh. Okay, so I want to go over here. So then I can go right there. And then through here. Right there. And now check the ancient tomb out. Enter. Of course, this leveling up is going to be important more early on. Or rather, this gaining of experience is going to be important early on. She's very far away from leveling up, though. It's not that big of a difference. It's only 10,000 experience. That's probably going to be about a level below. But so, yeah, it is pretty nasty. We've been here. Why do I keep coming here? Oh, I'm an idiot. Well, I'm not an idiot. I am, but that's not the point. The point is that it's tricky. Like, locations don't get marked as cleared. You should be able to mark locations as cleared. That'd be the best thing. It wouldn't be too difficult. Just if you right-click, nothing happens. So let's go over there. That's where we went to and died. Yeah, so we lost basically that thing. I want to get all the little bits explored. We walked across the heath. I don't know that word. Heath? Sure. For a long time, yet no sight sprang up before our eyes. But by turns, we discovered a verdant lowland with several near-about springs streaming down behind another hillside. And then, in the distance, in the center of the lowland, among the bushes, there stood a single dry tree. A true giant. Its magnificent outline resembled a animal paw clawing at the sky. But what was truly remarkable, the flat landscape was dotted by mysterious dark humps. They were piled about the height of a man and scattered around in abundance. Oh, I love these bits over here. So we determined that we should explore the lowland. The further we trekked, the softer the land became. Step by step, heath grass gave way to moss, low-growing shrubs and ferns, and then sloshy puddles of stinking swamp water. The muddy ground sucked at our feet, and soon our party was jumping from hassock to hassock. Finally, we reached the first group of mysterious humps, and learned they were no mere hills, but dug-out dwellings. We moved with great care towards the center of the lowland, and there the real swamp began. On the way towards the mysterious giant tree, we saw the foggy outline of another hut, this one much bigger and surrounded by small clay statues. Um, we would not retreat and move ever forward. No, we examined the surroundings of the dwellings. Inside the dugouts were frowsy and darker than holes, and filled with... Wait a minute, what? Inside, sorry, yeah, the dugouts were frowsy and darker than holes, and filled with absolute desolation. There were no windows in these mud walls, no furniture or other homely items except for the odd piece of tattered wicker. But every dwelling had a large hollow dug right in the center of the dirt floor, like a fire pit, but taking up the greater part of the space. They were filled with standing water and reeked beyond description. We moved with great care towards the center of the hollow land, and there were real... Okay, so that basically, yeah, we were not to retreat and moved ever forward. We walked... That's us? That's not us, because Lindsay is over there. Who's that? Is that Octavia? Is that the cannon party? I think that might be the cannon party. That'd be Valerie. That'd be Amory. That'd be Octavia. And of course, that's the other... Oh, it's the Lawful Good party. Aww. Look at that. They want the Lawful Good to be the cannon. No, it's not gonna be. We walk slowly, carefully choosing our way. I'll be honest, I'll say why I'm sort of stumbling on the words. They don't flow off the tongue easily. And I can't really put my hand on it, on why. But for example, the usage of the word hollow before, it's normally used as an adjective or adjective. That time it was a noun, and that trips me up. And I don't know if it's just me, but there are certain writing styles that I just love, and I can read it for days. And those are usually the writers I enjoy the most. And others that I just stumble upon. And there's one particular writer, at least that I know, which is Chris Avalon, that wrote for this game. And I'm not sure I've seen his writing yet, but I might have. I haven't seen his characteristic style, at least that I've noticed. He's got. I can tell when it's his writing. It's relatively simple to tell once you've known him for so many years. But anyway, we walked slowly, carefully choosing our way, keeping to drier ground as much as possible, but the further we went, the more difficult it became, and soon we were wading waist-deep through the cattails. Frogs croaked loudly as we peered anxiously into the cloudy water, struggling to make out what shadows fitted along the bottom. Suddenly, Jaethal staggered, spit out an oath, and flailed her arms. She had made a wrong step, and unable to pull out her foot, she called out loudly, and began to sink into the vile green slush. Yeah, wary of another of us getting sucked into the bog. Who was it? Jaethal? Oh, that sucks. She's gonna need to make that roll, which is not an easy roll, not necessarily an easy roll. She has plus 6 athletics, so that's a DC, effectively, it's a DC 8, so it's a 60% chance to succeed, and she probably doesn't die. This isn't Banner Saga, so we're okay there. Standing next to each other and holding hands, we began to pull up our fellow traveler. Wait a minute. Let's go with that. Success, yes. I rolled a 9. Yeah. Actually, that was lucky. That was lucky, because I rolled a 9 plus 6, so I rolled a 15 against a DC 14. So, yeah, that was lucky. Actually, I said it was a 60% chance to succeed. It's not. It's a 65, because you can still roll 14. Or rather, an effective... Right? Am I thinking it wrong? Maybe. Anyway, doesn't matter. Luckily, the Jaethal managed to keep her head above the water while we struggled to rescue her. Grabbing the nearest hand and pulling with all her strength, she freed first one foot and then the other. And the rest of her body as well, because her head was above the water. You don't say head above the water if it's only your foot. But anyway, the insatiable fog gurgled hungrily after us, but we didn't look back. Sodden and weary, we finally made it back to solid ground, and a palace of sorts rose before our eyes. A spacious hut made of mud like the rest, but decorated with pebbles, bones, cattail spikes, and snail shells. In front of the palace, quote-unquote, was a wide and shallow reservoir. its green water reflected the leaves of huge ferns and primitive clay figures. The buzzing of gnats was nearly deafening. We were not far to the center of the swamp, and a firm and steady path led there through the thick bushes. At its end, the tall, dry tree stretched mightily upwards, clawing at the firmament. We carefully examined the clay figures, trying to fathom who they might portray. Okay, that's a 45% chance to succeed, and I failed. Goggle eyes, flat heads with no neck, ears or chins, ugly long necks, unnaturally bent. These mysterious clay sculptures depicted some uncanny cross between a frog and a human. I can't tell what it is. My own knowledge world can't tell what it is. The buzzing of gnats was okay, so that's good. Let's peek inside the hut and see what happens. The quote-unquote palace was twice the height of the other huts, and I don't know why it's palace. It wasn't palace the first time it was referenced. Anyway, but I guess it makes sense because they're referencing the first reference. That's why they use quotes. And its entrance was wide enough that 3 could walk abreast. The walls were decorated, and an unknown builder had scratched drawings in the clay while it was still wet. The faded scroll depicted huge amphibians devouring smaller figures. Oh, lovely. Well, let's get devoured by amphibians next episode. For right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Pathfinder Kingmaker. I really hope if you enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later, but above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.